ForexDayBreak podcast.
Good morning and welcome to episode 107. Forex pairs in this episode are EUR/USD. We are waiting for the next downturn. Dollar-yen uptrend has started and we are trying to catch the next move higher. And pound-yen small correction has ended and we are trying to trade this pair to the downside. It is recommended that you will learn to read the market yourself and not just blindly enter trades based on my signals or from any other signal provider. I will not take responsibility from your trading losses or credit from your profits. Okay, that said, let's start this episode. Hello and welcome to the show. This is ForexDayBreak daily podcast with me, Ville Vainio, and now let's get started with the Forex market. So here is EUR/USD 4-hour chart. And yesterday we had a trade in place. It didn't play out. We have still a sell stop order in place here, which is sell stop at 108.2, stop loss 108.57, take profit 106.65. In my charts you can see only the sell stop order. I haven't placed my stop losses and take profit levels yet. I am going to move this level in the case we get more upside. The whole upside price action looks corrective, so I'm expecting a move down. And like I said yesterday, I'm a little bit concerned about this large spike and immediate reverse that happened on Thursday. It can be counted, of course, as, let's actually draw it here, it's more clear. So if we take from the high or the end of triangle around 109.8 approximately, we see 1, 2, then perhaps another 1, 2, and now even a third 1, 2. Doesn't look very nice, not very textbook Elliott wave structure, but this is possible. And this possible scenario. The one thing that is supporting this at the moment is that this recent upwards move is very weak, very overlapping, choppy. So the strength in euro is not very impressive. So perhaps there is going to be a move down soon, and that is what we are expecting. And we have the limit or stop order in place for that. So let's see how this develops. Of course, there's a possibility that we are still forming the minus wave 4 correction, this whole structure, which is very complex. So at the moment, my labeling is WXY with the triangle on the Y wave. But if we get more upside, start to approach 1095, 1093 levels about, and then we can look into this more detail and maybe label this in a different manner. This can be, I actually saw, I think it was in Facebook, some of my Facebook friend had posted a chart which was proposing that this whole structure is a large triangle, and I think this is possibly one option. It doesn't look like a large triangle much, but these wave formations doesn't have to be a textbook always. They can be very odd shaped and still can be a valid structure or valid count. So let's keep an open mind with this and let's look for that impulsive structure to downside, which would be a strong signal that we are going to get the minus wave 5, the larger 5-way structure to downside. Okay, let's go ahead and look some other pairs we have a trade in dollar yen. We are expecting more upside on this pair. We can of course get a slightly more downside first, but in the case of a sudden or the continuation for this starting uptrend, we have a buy stop order in place. So dollar yen buy stop at 118.3, stop loss 117.95, take profit 122.6. All of these trades I have posted on the ForexDayBreak Trading Signals Facebook page, Facebook group. So if you search for ForexDayBreak in Facebook, I think you will find that group. So if you want these signals as they are made, go to that group, ask for the join, and I will approve you, and you will see, of course, the trade signals or trade levels there. So similar situation in dollar yen as in euro USD. We are preparing for the next move higher in this case. If we get more downside, the price action at the moment looks like we will get a little more downside before the uptrend can resume. But we can adjust the level downwards. And in here as well, I don't have yet placed my stop loss and take profit levels. The expectation here is that we are forming the next leg of this large triangle. We can see down here minor wave C is the low at 115.97 in my labeling, so an end of C leg for this triangle. And now we are forming the D leg, which should continue all the way up around the upper part of the trend line. So 122.7, 123 thereabouts would be the conclusion for this uptrend. We can draw it here. So perhaps we are expecting now a 5-wave structure first, then a 3-wave pullback, and then another 5-wave structure. Of course, if we look at the previous price action, it has been quite choppy, so this can be hard to trade, nerve-wracking trade to pull off. But still, the expectation is that we are forming the next leg of the triangle, and these triangle patterns are quite reliable. So if we get a good trade in and perhaps get it quite soon to the profit, then maybe it's not so nerve-wracking to trade this whole structure towards the 122.5, 123 level. So let's keep an eye on this pair. If we get more downside, and once we see signs of this smaller correction finding its bottom, then we can adjust the buy stop level and catch the next move higher in a better position. We have one other trade, so pound yen. Pound yen has been on a quite nice decline. Minuet wave 3 in my labeling is this large decline, so we can see quite clear 3 waves now, or possibly 4 waves formed now. If we take from the peak of the minute wave 2 around 189, first we can see a wave 1, then a triangle as wave 2, now the very long decline as wave 3, a 3-wave move higher as wave 4, and then the expectation is that we need to form one more wave to complete this 5-wave structure. Since we have a 3-wave structure from the low of 163.5 or 163.4, we can expect a decline and possibly even a new low out of this. And that is the expectation for this trade. So the trade is pound yen sell stop at 167.85, stop loss 168.6, take profit 164.46. Take profit is quite conservative if this analysis is correct, so we should get more downside than our take profit level. But if we get near those levels where our take profit level is, we can of course adjust the levels if needed or if necessary. This all depends on the price structure once we see some more downside on this pair. After that, we can expect a larger correction at the upside, but I am long-term bearish on this pair, so perhaps we can find more trading opportunities on pound yen. Okay, that's all for today. Subscribe in YouTube to get these videos, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.
ForexDayBreak.com